Hey everyone, so today we're going to take a look at the Andor clip that Disney released just a couple days ago. I haven't seen it yet. So I've been waiting for the time to be able to kind of watch it and give my thoughts and kind of react to it. But let's jump into the clip and then I'll give some thoughts, if I have any thoughts, afterwards.
So which is it? I know Bix has a game. I know you bribe quartermasters to leave valuables on the ships before they come in for scrap, but this isn't that. This isn't something to let pass.
No. I went in and got this myself.
How? How's that possible? It was sealed on the Imperial Naval Base in Steergard.
Look, you got the money, I got the box. What else is there to talk about?
I'll give you another 1,000 credits to tell me how you got it.
Another 1,000.
Done. How?
You just walk in like you belong.
Takes more than that, doesn't it?
What, to steal from the Empire? What do you need? A uniform, some dirty hands, and an Imperial toolkit. They're so proud of themselves. They don't even care. They're so fat and satisfied. They can't imagine it.
Can't imagine what?
That someone like me would ever get inside their house, walk their floors, spit in their food, take their gear.
Huh. Okay. So first impressions, the show looks really great. If that's indicative of the whole show, which I assume it is, that's why they would have showed this clip, is I like the tone. It feels like a slower pace, drawn out, like there's plenty of room for story to unfold. Camera angles look great. Costume look great. That's kind of all the aesthetic things I see there. But the other thing that I notice in this clip is there's two different kind of people represented here. And as I've thought about Andor and what it's going to accomplish as a show, this clip kind of confirms a little bit of that to me. So I'll explain. One of the things when they announced Andor that I was curious about is what was Andor going to accomplish in the story that Star Wars Rebels, the animated show, did not accomplish? Because a lot of what it felt like with Andor is that we were going to see the beginning of the rebellion, the beginning of the rebels, and I think that's true. Which kind of feels confusing because that's also what Star Wars Rebels showed us, was the beginning of the rebellion. And as I've thought about it and even seeing it here, I think that they do it in two different ways. Rebels shows the beginning of the Rebel Alliance, whereas Andor, I think, is going to just show us the beginning of rebellion in the galaxy. At this point, like, you saw it here, and I can't remember the name of the character that Cassian Andor is talking to in this clip. I know that in the trailer we've seen he's an ex-senator or something like that who's left that life. But we see these two characters, and I think that we see two different representations of kind of where the state of rebellion is in the galaxy and where kind of hope against the Empire is. We see Cassian Andor as this low-life thief, smuggler, who basically earns his living by sneaking into Imperial places and doing it in a way that is mysterious to other people. And that's because he's found something out that nobody else in the galaxy has, and that's that the Empire does have weaknesses. I think that at this point in the timeline, we're going to see the Empire at its biggest. They're arrogant. They have built up into this vast, seemingly impenetrable entity. And I think that most of the characters, especially the people that are kind of higher up, senators, leadership, things like that, they look at the Empire right now as impenetrable. There's no cracks in the armor. Whereas some of the lower life people like Cassian Andor, just through their own experience and their own need to survive, have learned that there are cracks in the Imperial armor. And that is their arrogance, or Palpatine's arrogance. We know that Palpatine has grown this thing beyond what it ever was. And truthfully, you can even look at the way that he got rid of the clones and replaced them with a volunteer army. You can see that the clones were that superior fighting force, right? They were the ones that they were like unrivaled in combat, quality soldiers. But Palpatine phases them out because after the events of Revenge of the Sith, he's won. He doesn't need quality soldiers now. What he needs is numbers to be able to grip the entire galaxy. But most people don't understand that. Most people think that, well, there's a massive army of galactic stormtroopers and soldiers, the Star Destroyers, everything that the Empire has is like, it's impenetrable. There's no way that you could rebel against it. So I think that that's what Andor, the show, is going to show us, is basically the beginnings of people starting to see that maybe there is a chance at rebellion. Maybe there are cracks in the armor, and they're going to learn that through people like Cassian Andor. His story is going to show us how people found hope and were able to start rebelling against the Empire. So an important distinction, I think, between these two shows is that this takes place at a point when maybe rebellion is just beginning. And when rebellion against the Empire in canon was just beginning, it was all contained to individual systems, individual planets. They were rebelling against the Empire for the sake of protecting their own planet, their own world, whatever. And that's kind of what Rebels does for us. Rebels takes that individual, like, siloed rebellion and shows the story of how, through leadership like Mon Mothma and even Leia and Bail Organa and big characters like that, Rebels shows us how those characters recognized that there were all these cells and there were all of these siloed rebellions. They recognized that. And so what they do is they unite that. And that's what Rebels shows us. I think Andor is going to take it even a step back and say, well, how did people even get hope and the idea that they could rebel against the Empire? And obviously, like, even before this show, there were small cases of rebellion, but I think this show is going to really show us how the rebellion starts to really gain traction. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of this show. Are you excited for it? What did you think of this clip? What stood out to you? What was exciting? Let me know in the comments below. And I'm excited to keep watching this and seeing this story unfold. And hopefully we'll have some good discussions here on this channel about Andor. Have a great day, and may the Force be with you.